Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're jumping into a really powerful book, Climbing the Hill by Amadou Kamara.
Yeah, it's quite something.
It really is. It's more than just his life story, isn't it? It feels like a blueprint for, well, resilience, hope, transformation.
Absolutely.
And our mission today is basically to unpack some of the core ideas from Amadou's journey, see how he navigated just incredible hardship to, find his way. So Amadou's story kicks off in Dar es Salaam, Guinea Conakry. And the way he describes it in the book is just striking.
Yeah.
He says, survival was a victory, and every step forward was a quiet act of defiance.
Wow.
Just think about that. A world where just getting through the day, finding food, keeping hope alive, that itself was an act of courage every single day.
It puts things in perspective, definitely. And what really stands out from those early chapters, I think, are the unseen wounds he talks about.
Right. Not just the obvious poverty.
Exactly. It wasn't just the physical stuff, which was immense, obviously. But internally, he was dealing with deep loneliness, self-doubt, constant fear.
Even while seeming okay on the outside, maybe?
Yeah, precisely. And that's a huge psychological point the book makes. These hidden struggles, they're real. They shape how you see everything, how you move through the world. They don't just vanish because you're coping externally.
That's so true. Yet somehow, despite all that, both internal and external, his dreams didn't fade. He held on to this idea of education, of a better life.
Which is incredible in itself.
And then this happens almost like a miracle, really. Out of millions applying, Amadou gets picked in the diversity visa lottery.
Yeah.
Suddenly, there's this chance, this opening to move to the United States, completely different world.
It's a massive turning point in the narrative, that lottery, when you feel that door swinging open.
Definitely.
But the book is quick to show you something crucial, I think.
Yeah.
Opportunity.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't just wipe the slate clean. It doesn't erase struggle. It just changes the form of the struggle, which perfectly sets up everything that happens next in America.
Right. It's not an ending, it's a new beginning with its own hill.
Precisely.
Yeah.
A new hill to climb.
And what a hill it turned out to be. Arriving in the U.S. was an easy street. Far from it.
No.
He ran smack into huge language barriers, right? And just massive culture shock. Financial problems were relentless. And that loneliness didn't just disappear either.
Still there.
He says it so well in the book. Changing your environment doesn't erase your struggles. It simply gives you new ones.
That line really resonates. It's so honest.
But this is where you see that resilience again, maybe even stronger. He chooses to study architecture. Think about that.
Yeah.
From carrying water in Guinea to designing buildings, he's literally constructing his future, brick by brick, exam by exam.
It's incredibly symbolic, isn't it? The act of building.
Totally. And he pulls it off, studies architecture, graduates, ends up designing buildings for flat architects. It's this incredible climb, both literally and, metaphorically.
Yeah. A testament to that persistence.
So let's dig into that. After walking through his life story via the book, what are the deeper psychological takeaways? What does Climbing the Hill really teach us?
That's a good question, because the ideas might sound familiar, but his life gives them such sharp focus.
Okay.
First, obviously, is resilience.
Yeah.
But it's not just bouncing back. It's how he seemed to actively redesign himself after each setback, like tackling a design problem.
How so?
Well, think about architecture school.
Yeah.
It wasn't just picking a career. It's felt like a very deliberate, structured way for him to build a new foundation, mirroring the physical building with his own personal reconstruction.
That makes sense. Okay, what else?
Second, the idea that invisible pain matters. His willingness, or maybe his need, to acknowledge the loneliness and self-doubt while he was achieving things, that's key.
Not just pushing it down.
Right. It tells us that real growth means dealing with those hidden costs, those emotional struggles, not just gritting your teeth and pretending they aren't there. It's about facing the emotional reality of the journey.
And that drive, that constant pushing forward, even when things looked impossible.
Yeah, that connects straight to the third lesson, growth mindset. Amadou didn't seem to see roadblocks as final. They were data points, opportunities to learn something new, to adapt.
Like the language barrier.
Exactly. Didn't speak the language.
Yeah.
Okay, how do I learn? No money. Okay, what can I figure out? The whole journey from scarcity to meticulous architectural design just screams continuous learning and adaptation.
Which must require believing in yourself even when no one else does.
Absolutely. That's number 4. The incredible power of self-belief.
Yeah.
He had to cultivate this inner certainty that he could do more, be more. It wasn't blind optimism.
No.
It felt more like a deep trust in his own ability to figure things out, to evolve. Without that lottery ticket might have just been a piece of paper. He had to believe he could actually use the opportunity.
Makes sense. You need the belief to take the action.
Precisely. And finally, there's a really clear example of post-traumatic growth.
Okay, explain that a bit more.
It's more than just being resilient. It's the idea that experiencing significant trauma or suffering, like Amadou did, can actually forge completely new strengths. New perspectives, a deeper sense of purpose might emerge because of the hardship, not just in spite of it.
So the suffering itself becomes part of the strength.
In a way, yes. He didn't just get through it. He seemed to transform by it.
Yeah.
The suffering shaped him, giving him perhaps a unique empathy, a clarity he might not have found otherwise.
That's a really powerful way to look at adversity. So putting all these pieces together, resilience, facing invisible pain, growth mindset, self-belief, post-traumatic growth. What's the big message here, the universal takeaway from Amadou's story?
I think the book powerfully argues that where you start doesn't have to dictate where you end up, not at all.
Right.
And hope. Hope isn't passive wishing. It's an active choice. It's fundamental to survival, really. His journey shows that every single step, even the tiny ones that feel insignificant at the time, they add up. They create momentum. And maybe the biggest thing is that success for him wasn't about escaping the past or forgetting the hardship. It was about transforming through it, integrating all of it. It's like alchemy, turning lead into gold. Not by getting rid of the lead, but by fundamentally changing it.
I keep coming back to that line. Survival was a victory, and every step forward was a quiet act of defiance.
Sticks with you.
Amadou's life makes that phrase so real, so tangible. It makes you realize that every time we choose to push on, despite the fear, despite the doubt, despite the odds, we're doing that too. We're defying whatever holds us back.
Yeah.
It really feels like an equation. Hope plus resilience times action equals transformation.
And that equation, that climb, it isn't just Amadou's story. That's where the book becomes like a mirror.
How do you mean?
Well, it forces you to ask,
Yeah.
what's your hill? Everyone has one, right?
Huh.
Something they're climbing or maybe trying to avoid climbing.
It could be anything.
Exactly. Poverty, fear, trauma from the past, difficult relationships, just that nagging voice of self-doubt, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Amadou's journey is this powerful reminder that, look, no hill is actually too high if you just keep climbing. With courage, with some faith, and that resilience, the climbing itself changes everything.
So a challenge for everyone listening. Think about your own hill. What does it look like? And if you want some serious inspiration, some fuel for that climb,
Definitely check out the book.
yeah, definitely read Climbing the Hill by Amadou Kamara. It's available on Amazon. Reading his story, it might just give you that little nudge, that reminder that your hill too, that yeah, it can be climbed.